الحمد لله رب العالمين الصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن استنى بسنته إلى يوم الدين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته, brothers. Alhamdulillah, we start by praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and we send our salam and salawat on Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and we pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He accept this time that we are giving to read and learn from the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as a good deed in this world and in the day of judgment, inshallah ta'ala. So in our journey of learning the Arabic of the Quran, we have done few classes, and today we're going to do a new lesson, inshallah ta'ala. As I always do, we're going to go through a very quick review that what we have done, and alhamdulillah, I know the brothers already have the slides from me, inshallah ta'ala, and today's new slide also I'll be emailing to you very soon, inshallah ta'ala. So to start with, I'll just show you this chart, and I think everybody knows that we started by learning the words of the Arabic, meaning that how many types of words are in Arabic. And we said there are three types of words in Arabic: ism, fail, and harf. Okay, ism, fail, and harf. And we say that the ism is the biggest one, the longest one we need to know about, and that's why we are going through the journey of learning the ism first. And in learning that, we see that the ism, one ism has 4 properties, and the 4 properties are status, number, gender, and type. Okay, and in status, how do you know status? We had a chart of the Muslim chart. We have a like S ending sound, u, a, or e, or una, or ina. All these things we saw in the charts. Also, we talked about the status can be of 3 types. Like a word can do something in the sentence, that is the doer. If it is the details, it's called nasab, and if it is after the of, it's called jar. And then we talked about number, that in Arabic there is something called pair, other than singular and plural, we also have pair. We talked about that. We talked about gender. We said like most of the words are masculine word, but there are few things that if you know, then you know that this is a feminine word. And we have few things are listed there, almost 6, 7 things there. There are 6 things that that makes the things plural, and there are few things that makes a word feminine. And we also had a short paragraph that these are the words are feminine words because there is no reason except for the Arab say so. Then we talked about the type. Types are everything is mostly common, and then we have proper. Also on that way, we talked about light and heavy. A word is usually heavy in Arabic, meaning the ending sound is a tanween or a noon sound. When you take the noon sound or the tanween out from the word becomes light, and there are few reasons to make a word from heavy to light. There are 4 of the reasons, and we saw one of the reasons last week, and we'll talk about it today also, inshallah ta'ala. Then we start fragments. So we talked about word first. So now we are talking about bringing 2 words together, okay? And we're going to learn about almost 5 types of fragments. So this is the first type of fragments. We talked about idafa, the word, before the of is called mudaf, and the word after the of called mudaf ilay. For example, if I say Baitullah, meaning the house of Allah. The house of Allah. The word house comes before the English word of. So the house is mudaf. Okay, and mudaf ilay, the word Allah is mudaf ilay. And we have so many examples like this, okay? And when we are learning about the idafa, I think the last week that we talked about, and idafa has very simple rule. We have to remember, we need this today also, because today and inshallah tomorrow. So idafa, the rule is the mudaf is always light and no alif lam. So the word before the of cannot have alif lam, is have to be light, and there's no alif lam. And mudaf ilay must be in the jar status. So one rule for mudaf ilay, the word after the of. 2 rules for the word before the of. So light, no alif lam, and this one has to be jar. And mudaf ilay must be together. It can have like one here, something in between, then mudaf ilay. No, they are like attached together. They are attached together, mudaf ilay. And then we talked about pronouns, because why we talked about pronouns in mudaf ilay? Because pronouns in Arabic is so common, and the relationship between a attached pronoun with something is the relationship of mudaf ilay. That's why we talked about pronouns. And in pronouns we say, like we learn a chart of the rafa, nasab, and jar, we have to learn a chart of the pronoun. We have to memorize the pronoun, but these are very easy to memorize, because we know from English that there are three types of pronouns: first person, second person, and third person. When you say he, she, they are third person. When you say you, and you as a family, your. Okay, all these things are second person. I, we are first person. So we talked about this chart. As I say, we must memorize this pronoun chart, and this was the chart. And the chart has two versions. All the normal pronoun, and you will find them, a lot of them in the Quran, like huwa, huma, hum. Okay, all these things are rafa version, meaning if a pronoun by itself, it is not attached to anything, then always it's rafa. And obviously you know the number and gender by knowing the meaning. So huwa means he. What is the number and gender of he? Everybody knows that. The number is singular because it's a he, and it's a masculine, it's a he, it's not a she, right? So that's what we know, and also we know the type is always proper. Type is always proper. So that's what we have to learn. Huwa, huma, hum, hiya, huma, hunna, and anta, antuma, antum, anti, antuma, antunna, and then ana and nahnu. And then this one, the gray one, is the attached version. And in the attached version, we say they could be nasab or they could be jar, nasab or jar, except for ana, which means I. If it is ni, it is a nasab. Easy to remember, ni with nasab, and e for jar. So ana, when it became attached to something, like for if I say Rabbi, Rabbi, okay, means my Lord, my Rabb, okay. So Rabbi is e, the last one is so my Lord. So that is attached pronoun. It's saying it attached with the word Rabb. So it becomes Rabbi, and that is the jar status, okay, because it's a mudaf ilay, okay, because we know, and what we say that, why we learning pronoun in this section again? Because when a pronoun gets attached with something, it is the relationship of mudaf ilay, meaning there is a hidden off, between them. So if just like I said, Rabbi, Lord of mine, or in English we can say my Lord, same thing. So there is a hidden, so that you can translate something, okay. If I say kitabukum, the book of you, or your book. So that's why you have to understand that because then kum is coming from here, okay. Your book, okay. The kum is the antum version, okay. So that's why it is attached, and when it is attached, it is the same relationship as mudaf ilay, okay. And we need this today also, the new fragment that we're going to learn. Little bit of this we need it today. And tomorrow we're going to do exercises, inshallah ta'ala, about today's lesson. So that's why we will need this a lot. So you must go through this chart, brothers, okay? It is really easy. It's nothing, difficult. If you just look at them, most of them are same. Few of them are very same. Like, the huma becomes huma or hima, okay? Whom becomes whom or him. It is, if you just spend 10 minutes, anybody can know this with the meaning and everything, okay. Like this is a bit tricky, not tricky, just change. Like anta means you, but it is not ta, it is ka when you attach, okay. It is ka. And like something anti means you as a feminine, it's become ki. So this is a little bit different, not ta becomes ka actually. And you have, if you read Quran regularly, if you pray in your prayer, you will find so many of them. So there's no way you will forget this. Once you concentrate on this chart for a few minutes, you should be able to remember it, inshallah ta'ala. And this is what I just talked about, these are the rules of that. When the pronoun is attached, attached to something, it takes the attached version, and if there's an ism with that, it becomes a mudaf ilay, meaning it becomes the jar version of it, okay? It becomes the jar version of it. This is what they say here, okay? Whenever you see a pronoun and attached to it, it is actually a mudaf, and the attached pronoun is mudaf ilay. Recall that between the mudaf and mudaf ilay, always the word of. So just whatever I said, that's what is written here, inshallah. Okay. So let's go to today's lesson. Fragments. It's lesson number 10, fragments 2. So today we're going to talk about a new relationship. Okay, fragments means you can say relationship, and I give an example that if a word is a brick, if you bring two bricks together and you put a cement on that, we are talking about the cement. There are different type of cement that we can bring two words together. Okay, think of like that way. So we learn about one type, mudaf ilay. Okay, today we're going to talk about harf of jar. Harf of jar. Now, where is the harf thing we heard before? What does harf mean? Brother Manzur, what does harf mean? Did you hear this word before?
Yes.
Somewhere where?
Harf
You know,
which has got no meaning without using something else.
something after it, yes. So like in English, give an English example.
Oh, so my house.
Mm-hmm. No, there is no half in my house.
Preposition, I think.
Preposition, yes. It's like a preposition, like on, at, okay, from, to, to, okay, all these things are half. So half is, see, remember we talked about there are three kinds of words. That's our first lesson. There are three kinds of words in Arabic: ism, fail, and harf. So we're going to talk about harf today, okay? And this is also very common. It is so common that there are scholars like Ibn al-Qayyim and other people actually, they have wrote books about only harf, not for the grammar, that how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used different type of harfs in different places of the Quran. Okay, there's a books written on that. Okay, anyway, so harf is something like a preposition, but not exactly like preposition, but very similar to our English language preposition. It doesn't make any sense unless there is a word after it. Unless there's a word after it. So we're going to talk about harf today. This is the second type of relationship, and why this is the second type of fragments we are talking about. We'll see the relationship today, if not tomorrow, inshallah ta'ala. And what is jar? We already talked about the jar before. Rafa, nasab, and jar. Jar means that something that comes after the off. Something that comes after the off, like mudaf, mudaf ilay we talked about, right? And we know what is rafa, what is nasab, and what is jar. Like muslimun is the rafa version, musliman is the nasab version, muslimin is the jar version. So we know about harf and we know what is jar. So in these two, we know that. Now what is then harf of jar? What is the relationship between these two? The harf of jars are, there are different kinds of harfs in Arabic. Different kinds of preposition like in English, so different kinds of harfs in Arabic. In this lesson, we learn about 11 harf. How many harf? We learn about 11. Easy to remember, nothing to be scared of, If you look at them, you will inshallah remember. Harf has no properties like ism. Like ism has 4 properties, right? What are the 4 properties of ism, brother? Status?
Type.
Yeah, number and gender. Gender. So 4 types of property. But harf, like in Arabic preposition, remember that way, has no properties. So don't worry about any properties. If I tell this is a harf, and if I ask you what is the status, you say, no brother, you can't ask me status, number, gender of harf. Harf doesn't make any sense unless there's a word after it. So there's no properties for harf. Okay, so easy for that point, right? These harfs make the word right after it is jar. Meaning that is the most important point. So when there is a harf, and harf, the fragment that we are learning, harf always comes at the beginning. So the word next to it is always become a jar. So harf has no properties. Only job the harf does, especially these 11 harfs, they make the word next to it a jar. That's their job, okay? Nothing else, okay? So if there is a harf, and we'll see a lot of examples inshallah ta'ala, and if you have a word which is ism, a word which is an ism that comes after the harf and attached to the harf, its status must be jar, okay? And when they do this thing, when they make a word jar, we call them jar. So the word harf become equal jar. Jar with a alif. Don't need to remember this, it's not important. It's called jar, and the word that getting jarred, like becoming a jar version, is called majroor. And this relationship is called jar majroor. The previous relationship was, the fragments was mudaf, mudaf ilay. This is called jar majroor. Jar majroor. That is the relationship. Now we're going to look at this 11 harf, and we will remember them inshallah. Okay? So these are the 11 verbs. Okay? Now you can see some fatha kasra dhamma here. Okay? I will tell you why this, but we remember like this. Ba, ta, kaf, lam, wa. Okay? Look at the first one. First five. Ba, ta, kaf, lam, wa. And I'll tell you the meanings in a minute. But look at the harf first. Min, fi, an, ala, hatta, ila. Okay? And remember, these are ayn, so when you say this in Quran, in reading rule, it's not an, it's an, and then it's ala, hatta, ila. So these are the 11 ones. Ba, ta, kaf, lam, wa, min, fi, an, ala, hatta, ila. So there is two of them with ain, an and ala, and I'll tell you the meaning in a second. But try to remember them, okay? Let's say with me together. Ba ta kaf lam wa min fi an ala hatta ila and ala hatta ila. If you look at them few times, you will remember them, okay? You don't have to remember them all together, but keep them in your eyes, in your head. So when you look at them, you remember them, okay? Now we're going to go through each of them very quickly, and then you will understand, okay? So the first one is the ba, and ba, when it comes in the before the sentence as a harf, it always be, like Bismillah, okay? Bismillah. And what is be means? Be means with, or sometimes in also to a good English, but actually it's in Arabic most of them is mean be, okay? Be means with, okay? You never say ba like or boo. You never see this. So this harf always come as ba with a kasra, be, like Bismillah. Remember that one, okay? Bismillah, okay? And it means with, and we have the example, the I swear by Allah, and okay, so the Bismillah is the example. The next one, the ta, is a very simple one, and I think there is nothing in the Quran with ta. The harf ta is the easiest one to remember. It only comes with the word Allah, and it means I swear. Like wallahi we say, we can say tallahi. Tallahi also means I swear, but I don't see, I do, from my knowledge, I don't know that there's anything in the Quran. Maybe one place, but I'm not too sure. But on anything, it's a simple thing to remember. The ta is always used with the word Allah, and ta means I swear. Like wallahi, if you talk with Arab people, they say sometimes when they're too much excited, they say wallahi, tallahi, they say this. So tallahi means I swear, okay? And this is the only time it used with the word Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, okay? No other word, okay? The next one is ka, okay? Ka is, it means like. Ka means like, okay? But you have to remember one thing, and this is the tricky part. Remember we learned about pronoun. Anta becomes ka also, okay? But this ka always comes before, and that ka is an attached pronoun. Attached pronoun never comes before. That is the difference. That's the tricky part, okay? Anta becomes, like if I say Rabbuka, your Lord. Rabbuka means your Lord. That ka is not this ka. This ka is like ka asfim ma'kul, ka asfim, okay? Ka masalil ladina min qablihum, ka. So this ka becomes the beginning of the word, okay? And we'll see some more examples, then you will understand. So this ka is a harf. This is not the same ka for anta, so don't mix it up, please, okay? And this means like, okay? Like, kawaladun, meaning, like a boy. Kawaladun means like a boy. Kawaladin, not waladun, kawaladin. And then we have the next one is lam. Now, lam is a difficult one because there are 7 types of lam in the Quran, 7 types. We are only learning one type for the time being, and this one sometimes is li, sometimes is la. When it is attached with a pronoun, whenever the lam is used with a pronoun, it will have a fatha, like lahu, okay? Lakum, okay? Lakum dinukum waliyadin. Lakum, okay? Lakum means your for you, like your religion, your din, my din, lakum dinukum. So this la, when it attached with a pronoun, it became la. When it attached with any other thing, is li. Like alhamdu lillah. Alhamdu lillah. Li means or la means for. Everybody knows that, hopefully. La means or li means for. Okay. So this la, when it attached with a pronoun, it becomes la with a fatha. When it with anything other than pronoun, is usually is li. There is one or two exceptions. When you come to that, we'll talk about it, inshallah. The next one is the wa, and there are so many types of wa in Arabic. Okay, the different types of wa, but the easiest one that we're going to learn about in this phase of the Arabic is the wa means I swear by, like wal asr, wal shamsi, wal duhaha, wal duha, wal layli iza saja, wal qamari, wal shamsi, so many things Allah said the swear, wal tini, wal zaytun. So anytime you see wa, it is I swear by, okay, and it is always wa. It's not we or u or something like this, okay. So just like tallahi, just like wa is also I swear by, okay. But there, am I saying there are different? Like one of the wa means and, okay, and wa means and, okay. That wa is not this wa, okay. And we know, you will know that why this is different, because that wa, the and, it won't make the word next to it a jar. It could be a jar, it could be rafa nasab. But this wa, so when you say washamsi, see, I cannot say washamsu, I cannot say washamsa, because this wa will make the word after it a jar. Wal qamari, okay, wal nahari, wal layli, everything is jar, okay. So this is the harf of jar. So wa is a harf of jar, and it means I swear, okay. So we have 4 of them here, no, 5 of them here, okay. The next one is min. Min is from, min means from, okay. It means from, like, you know, min Allah, you know, you can say mir rabbik, you know, all these things are not. And also sometimes when connecting min to something else, the nun takes a fatha or a kasra, making it takes a fatha, making it mina. So they give an example, you know, minas samai, from the sky, okay, minas samai. So it's not min, the sukun min, it becomes a fatha, mina, okay. Just it's a reading rule basically. Also, if you see min and then rabbi, like the Sheikh was reciting, you know, Surah Yasin, okay, he said mir rabbihim. We don't say min rabbihim. Mir, that's a reading rule. That's not grammar. That's like tajweed, okay, and a makhraj, okay. But you know, you can see the word min, but we don't say the word nun because it attached with the next word, mir rabbi, okay. Or mir rahman, okay, like this, okay. So this is min means from, and the next one is fi. Fi means in, okay. Fi means in. That is another half, like, you know, fi sudur, you know, alladhi yuwasbisu fi sudurin nas, okay. Fi means in, okay. An means about. An means about, and when you connect an to something else, the nun takes a kasra and making it ani, like anil lazina amanu, okay, anil lazina. Like that one take a fatha, min takes a fatha sometimes, not all the time, and it's just like a reading rule. And the an sometimes take ani. Why are we telling this one here? Because if you look at the Quran, and if so, I see a ani, it's not the same one. We learned about an. No, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's sometimes it takes a fatha, sometimes it takes a kasra, just like the min we do it, okay. And the last 3 is ala. Ala means upon, like assalamu alaykum, okay. And ala sometimes becomes alay. Ala sometimes becomes alay, okay. Just like we say, no, assalamu alaykum siratal lazina an'amta alayhim, okay. All these things are same thing as ala. And hatta is hatta. Hatta never change. Hatta means until, like as you can see there, hatta matula'il fajr, you know, hatta matula'il fajr, you know, until the rising of, you know, the Surah Al-Qadr, okay. And also the last one is ila. Ila sometimes becomes ilay. Ila sometimes becomes ilay, like, you know, you can say ilayka, meaning I'm going towards you, okay. You know, ilayka baytuka, I'm going towards your house. So that's also become sometimes ilayka. So these are the 11 one. So, and the no rules to this one, only one rule. If you see a word after this one, this word has to be jar. So the exercise that we're going to do tomorrow, inshallah ta'ala, we'll pick up 1 or 2 short surah that we all know, like maybe Surah Al-Falaq or Surah Al-Fil or, you know, Surah Al-Maun, and we'll have few lines. And I will ask the brothers to find out where do you see a harf of jar in the surah, like, you know, kul a'udhu, then after that bi rabbin nas. So b is a harf. So you just have to tell me this way. I'll show you one or two examples. Like the first one, Brother Mustafa, tell what I wrote in the first line.
A'udhu billah.
Keep reading.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim.
Exactly. So where are the half of the first one?
Last one,
B, yes, billahi. And look at the word Allah. It became a jar. Okay. Then the second, there's another half of it. Min. See, it's become minash shaitani. We cannot say minash shaitanu or shaitana. It must be jar. Minash shaitani, you know, ar-rajim. Okay. Then Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Brother Jahid, you tell me what is the half here? B. So B is not the part of ism means name. That's why it's in the name of Allah. So when the B connect with the ism, it becomes bismi. Bismi, okay? So B means in the name or with the name of Allah. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. There's no other, nothing here, no other harf. Then here, Brother Tariq, you say, I think you will know this inshallah. Alhamdulillahi. Lillahi. Look, this lam, it looks like this. What is it? If you look at this, oh, this is the word Allah. But there's a lam here. And that is for Allah. Alhamdu, all praise. Lillahi. This lam is attached with this one. Okay? And that's why they make the word Allah is, at the jar status. Rabbil Alamin. Brother Manju, can you tell me what is this relationship here? Rabbil Alamin. What type of fragment? Is there any fragments there between Rabbi and Alamin? Exactly, mudaf ilay. Why? Because the word Rabbi doesn't have any al. It is light. Al-Alamina, it is in which status? Ina, it's jar status. So Rabbil Alamin means Lord of, there's a hidden of the world. So Lord of the worlds. Okay, so Rabbil Alamin. So I think I have only these 3 examples today. So inshallah, as I said, so tomorrow we're gonna do exercise. Not only half of jar, we also do mudaf ilay. So you can find like this, okay? And you can be able to translate by yourself as long as you know the meaning of this word. So you know where to put a off, okay? And what will be this one, okay? And you have to know the meanings of all the 11 harf that I showed you today, okay? Inshallah, I will send you the email very soon, once I go home, inshallah, and then you can remember. And also remember, brother, in the whole Arabic language, there is only 2 ways a word became jar. One is mudaf ilay, and another one is harf of jar. So we have learned both of them. There's no other rules that makes a word jar. Okay? Mudaf ilay, remember the rule? Alif lam, no, and it has to be light, and the mudaf ilay must be in jar status, like Rabbil Alamina, okay? And also if the fragment is a harf of jar, then the word became jar. Okay, so these are the only 2 rules. Then we have to remember this. Once we do this one, we know the jar status. Okay, basically, so we have covered a bit of a thing from the Quran, alhamdulillah. So tomorrow, inshallah, get ready. We'll go through the exercise together. Okay, we'll read up some of the lines from the short surahs of the Quran, and we'll try to point out, oh, this is mudaf ilay. Oh, this is harf of jar. This means this, inshallah ta'ala. Okay. Jazakallahu khairan, subhanakallahumma bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta